Right, welcome back all of you to the final episode of this season. Obviously, we made the playoffs in the end. We went on a little bit of a run. We did end up losing to the Yankees. If you did miss any of the last couple of episodes, I would definitely recommend watching them. The season kind of fell apart a little bit. We finished at 500, which was a bit of a setback from the season before. We weren't as good as that by any means at all, really. But the fact we did manage to make it to the league championship, the league series game, and lose out to the Yankees, it was a bit of a shame. But it certainly wasn't a disappointing season as such. Obviously, to make it that far. Realistically, the only reason we were able to do so is our division was awful. But the league as a whole, two teams at 500 to be able to make the playoffs is abnormal, completely abnormal, to be honest. But we weren't really that bad. Obviously, we were our pitching. I say our pitching fell back. We were first and fifth for the year. But obviously, partly our defense and stuff did let us down. Because runs against were fourth, even though we had the best FIP in the league, best strikeouts. Our defensive efficiency was only at 12th though, with our zone rating at 7th, which is a bit unfortunate. Runs scored, we were 9th, but it was a big improvement from where we were at before, at least. And also, as well as that, moving forward, the team's got so much younger than it was beforehand. We have a very, very bright future moving forward. So what we got with our team now, obviously we've got new scouts here as well. But the potential we have moving forward is Isaac Pacheco, Jack Moss, Zylo, Del Rosario here, who as much as he has been disappointing this stuff as a starter, and he can still improve a fair bit as well. But as well as that, obviously we got Jack Moss as well, who's realistically going to be one of the best batters in the league for years to come. Zylo as well here. This is realistic. This is realistically a Cy Young winner in the future for sure. Hernandez as well. We got some very, very good players coming up, which is really, really good to see actually. As well as that, Workman as well here. 5.2 WAR this year, 121 OPS plus. We got so much potential in the team, and then as well as that, obviously throughout our minor league system, Lorenzo Carey, who's on his way up, is looking phenomenal. So obviously he's smashed his way up through minors this year, starting in Able, finishing in Double A with a 164 OPS plus to a 174 to a 142, raked in every team he was at in the minors last year. So his start probably get a chance in spring training, but we'll see how he does. We've got some other prospects as well. Obviously, just looking through our minor league system, Mullinax is there. We got a great Dominican rookie league team, so a lot of potential in there, especially in the outfield here, which is realistically where we need to improve more so than anything. Because if we go to have a look at our meet the team here, our infield is absolutely incredible. There's not really much we can improve upon. Matt Chapman, who has actually won a Gold Glove for this year, I believe. Yeah, he has. He won the Gold Glove for this year. He's a Gold Glove defender at third base, and he has a 134 OPS plus. There's no need to ever replace it, especially in the contract he's on. He's still got 2 more years and then a player option at $7.5 million. So great contract that's turned out to be in the end. Daryl Hernandez as well here. Jack Moss. Gage Workman, obviously, shortstop of the future. Fantastic defense, but if he's hitting a 121 OPS plus as well, it's just the outfield that needs to improve a little. But, I say that our pitching is not an issue at all. Obviously, we're looking great for the future. And obviously, for next season as well, we will be looking to start the year off out in Las Vegas. So we will be relocating to Las Vegas for the start of next year. So we'll see where that brings, any changes in sort of the stadium dimensions, sort of how that affects our team, whether it be a hitting friendly park or a pitcher friendly park. We have to wait to see what happens in regards to that, and also if it turns out that we will be getting any more money from our own, obviously moving to Las Vegas, will he want to pump more money into the team, to build up that new fan base when we get there. So very excited for that. But in terms of moving on, obviously salary arbitration, I offered contract extensions to everyone who I was willing to keep in salary for next year. The only couple of players here are Shea Langoliers, who posted a negative WAR last year. His batting ratings here really fell off. Strike out a lot. The gap power is really, really poor. He's got he's got a decent eye, great home run power. The contact isn't even where it once was. Once again, great defensive catcher. Do we just keep him on as a defensive backup? I'm unsure at the moment. That's sort of a decision I'm going through my head. And then also Morejon here. He is, last season he was fantastic as well, but this year he was even better. He's one of the best relievers in the league. 3.3 WAR, 54 FIP minus, pitched 96 innings. He's one of the best relievers in the league. He's fantastic. Only 26 years of age as well. But do I want to be paying $12 million for a reliever in Oakland? Not really, if I'm honest. So I'm definitely going to look to trade away him. But in regards to sort of our plans other than that, is obviously see who's around at free agency. If there's any offer, we do have the money. If there's anyone available, I would not be against, going in and making an offer for them. Also, as well as that, I have had a look at Daniel Susac as well. Obviously came in and he did pitch, above league average this year. He had a very strong few months, I believe. If I go to his batting splits, he started off the year very, very strong. He's had a 122 OPS plus. He had in June he had a 181 OPS plus. September he picked it up again, but he had a few off months. So I will probably see how he does next year again. And obviously he was AL Division Series MVP. But what I will say is, if we're going to get above a league average bat, like around a 120 OPS plus at catcher, this is a very, very friendly contract. And I'm very, very tempted to go ahead and do it. The only reason I'm probably not going to jump on that right now, I mean, he's 24, he'd lock him up to he's 32, and the most we'd be paying is still less than $10 million a year. The only reason I won't be doing that is because we've got players like Jack Moss, Izilo, Hernandez, and obviously Workman as well. Players that, as much as Susac has, fantastic potential here, and he can improve even more from where he's at now. We kind of want to relieve some room for these guys. Is Susac one of the guys, after one mediocre season, do we want to offer him a long-term contract, as much as it is very team-friendly? I'm unsure. But anyway, I'll jump in and I will show you the league awards. So first, Gold Gloves in the AL. Obviously, Matt Chapman did make that. We didn't have anyone else win any awards. Obviously, here are award winners of the Gold Glovers in the AL. In the NL, here Austin Hedges as well. Obviously, OOTP legend. 72 OPS plus, and he still had a 1.3 WAR over 72 games. It's absolutely, that's beyond awful, that bat. But if you can get a league average bat from him one season, obviously with those ratings there, you're never going to get it. But his defense is absolutely phenomenal. Best defensive catcher in this game, I would say, at least. Michael Harris, Corbin Carroll, Edwin Arroyo. And in terms of your top AL reliever, surprisingly enough, it was not Morejon, to be honest. He picked up 3.3 WAR, 54 FIP minus, but obviously Giovanni Moran finished ahead of him here, and as well as that, Michael King, who had a 62 FIP minus. Very, very good pitchers, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of younger pitchers who are actually in here. I say, not many veterans. Obviously, Duran, Felix Bautista as well here. Hader won it in the NL here. This season he's had 4.2 WAR with a 30 FIP minus, 17.7 strikeouts per 9. Whilst giving out half a home run per 9, 3.34 walks. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that's his 5th Reliever of the Year award won. Silver Sluggers, we didn't have anyone ourselves, but there was Kyle Stowers, Julio Rodriguez, Spencer Jones, Correa, Ramirez, Peraza, Guerrero, Adley Rutschman as well. And then in the other league, obviously Will Smith, Freeman, Gorman, Ellie De La Cruz as well. Here, Vaughn Grissom, haven't seen much of him. Another Braves player. Michael Harris, George Valera, another Brave. No Acuna Jr., funnily enough, but 3 other Braves players. Michael Harris the third. And then in terms of your top rookies, Colson Montgomery won Rookie of the Year in our league here. This was how he got on, 4.4 WAR with a 130 OPS plus. Jack Moss did make the list, but he only played 85 games. So excited to see how he performs next year. If he picks up a 136 OPS plus or improves from there, I can imagine he could put up a monster season. Really, even with the improvement he's yet to do. Up to 75 home run power, 80 contact, and 65 discipline. Jay Allen won Rookie of the Year in the other league. Jacob Gonzalez was second. Obviously, that mighty prospect we saw who was drafted, didn't sign, and then came back. He was an all-star this year, though. Absolutely fantastic. Very, very good player. Boone won the AL Manager of the Year award, and then the Reds manager David Bell won it there. Joe Ryan, Minnesota Twins, won the Cy Young award here in the AL. And then the NL, it was Kodai Senga winning his first MVP, Cy Young award. And then in terms of your MVP award, Adley Rutschman won the MVP in the AL here. Mighty season from him, his first MVP award. And then the NL, Michael Harris wins his first MVP, putting up 9.7 WAR. Obviously, they won the 2023 World Series and 2024 World Series, and now he's got an MVP award to stack to that. 2 Silver Slugger awards, a Gold Glove so he won a Gold Glove this year, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, and MVP and All Star. Didn't win the championship, unfortunately. It was nice to see a change though. But great season for Michael Harris. The Braves are looking really, really strong. But in terms of that, I have actually put up a couple of trades. So obviously, bear in mind, obviously we weren't gonna bring back Morejon. I was kind of and ahhing around with making a decision on Shea Langoliers. But I have managed to get a couple of offers in for them. So if I go to your pending trades, so Shea Langoliers here is for a prospect, Junior Tillen, who put up 4.9 WAR and a 135 OPS plus in AAA last year, 28 home runs. Yes, I mean, I know we have plenty of infielders and we're very, very, there's not much room for players to come up, if I'm honest. But, rather than letting Shea Langoliers go for nothing, I thought bringing him in after a fantastic season in AAA, the worst thing we can do, we can give him a go in spring training, see what he's like, see how he performs, and you never know, really. So that's definitely a trade I'd like to go ahead and make, because Shea Langoliers isn't going to be much more than a backup, and I feel like we can get a backup in free agency anyway. So that's the first trade I'd like to go ahead and make. And then Morejon, I knew we were going to let go. Don't get me wrong, it's tough to let him go. He's a fantastic reliever, and we will have to try and find a replacement. As much as that, we have plenty of relieving talent in the organisation, But it's not nice to see him go. But we will be bringing back Damiano Palmigiani. Is how it's how I think it's pronounced. At least I'm I'm probably pronouncing that very, very wrong. He's just a right-handed bat, really. You can come in. Obviously, Moss is a left-handed first baseman. He's a good right-handed bat. You can come in off the bench, maybe at DH, see how he does. We know he can perform. He put up 2.1 WAR and a 135 OPS last year for the Pirates, and they obviously need. They're willing to trade him away. To bring in a 3.3 WAR. Realistically, one of the best relievers in the league for him. So, we'll definitely snap that up. And we'll take that because we're not willing to pay the money for Morejon. We have plenty of other pitching talent. I think that's the thing with us. Other teams who don't have the pitching talent would be more likely to bring someone like that in. For example, if we look at their best reliever is Toribio, who actually looks really, really good, to be honest. But other than that, they got Hunter Barco, Harrington, Mendez. He's going to go in and be realistically their closer or their setup man and one of their best relievers. So, that's something they're willing to take, and we'll take Palmigiani back for that. So I'll complete that trade there. Fans aren't happy with it. I get it. Obviously, a very good player for us. 2-time All-Star. But he's gone off to the Pirates there. So that's the 2 trades we have made. And then what I will do now is I'll probably advance. There's nothing else we can really do. I did have a look at Bellinger here, who, don't get me wrong, had a great year. 2.8 WAR, around league average bat. Obviously, it'd be great if he could return his bat to what he was like beforehand for the Dodgers. But I'm not going to pay $10 million a year for a league average bat and good centre field defence. I feel like there's better centre field defence out there, and as well as that, much better bats. So I'm happy to let him go rather than paying him $10 million a year. And also, as well as that, Daniel Susac. Okay, so that contract, I may be getting this completely wrong, but if he can come up to 65 contact, he's still only 24. 65 home run power, the gap power can improve. If that discipline comes up a little bit to 60, all of those ratings being at 60 is, the making of a fantastic batter. Great batting profile. He strikes out a little bit, yes, but he's got good personality. He's passable catch defense. And I do think that he can perform and put up some great offensive seasons for us in the catcher position. Yes, he only played 97 games as well. I don't forget as well, when he put up a 108 OPS plus. If he plays a full season, one WAR with a 108 OPS plus, above league average batting. If he plays a full season for us, improves, gets 120 OPS plus, he can put up a fair bit of WAR, and I do think it's really, really, really worth it for us to offer him this contract, which is extremely team friendly, with time up till age 32. So I'm going to go ahead and offer that contract to him and tie him up long term. As well as that, I do need to go in and do a few of our coaches here. But I'll go ahead and get the coaching sorted, and then I'll probably jump back to you when it gets to free agency, because there's nothing, free agency filings, because there's nothing really for us to do until then, if I'm honest. If there's any trades, obviously I'll jump back to you then, but I'll probably jump back to you at the free agency filings. Right, so we're back and we're into free agency now. So, just having through a look at through some of the players. So, in terms of international free agents, there wasn't really anyone. There's a closer here from Cuba who doesn't look too bad at all, actually. Quite a good personality. And also there's a good catcher who would be a good backup catcher for sure. Great personality, but the Cardinals already snapped him up on a minor league contract, so he's gone. In terms of actual free agents available, so we jump into free agents here. We have got, so you got, in terms of, obviously we want all players here. Pete Alonso is available at first base. 145 OPS plus this last year. 143, 141. He's been very, very consistent year to year here. Hit for more contact last year, less power. I say that he hit more home runs, 42 home runs to be honest. Very, very, very good first baseman. But we've got Jack Moss, so we don't need him. Kyle Tucker as well. Fantastic, fantastic right fielder. And realistically, the outfield is something we do need to improve. However, is the Moneyball thing to come in and offer a massive contract to Kyle Tucker? Yes, we're moving to Las Vegas, so that may be something we will be able to do. Eloy Jimenez as well, who's actually looking great in the outfield. However, saying all of these things, if I go to our lineup and let's have a look sort of how we would like to set up. So first of all, Daniel Susak's got to play. So, Jack Moss has got to play first base. He's going to hit for a lot of power. You got to have Darell Hernandez in there. Gage Workman in there has got to start. Third base, Matt Chapman's got to be there. Who's going to be our DH? That I'm unsure on. For now, we will say Isaac Pacheco. He's going to be sort of our utility man next year who can play absolutely anywhere. Like I said, realistically with that, Jack Moss will go to DH and Pacheco will go to first base because he's a fantastic first base. He can play third base, outfield, he can play anywhere, and that's what we're just going to do. We're going to get him plenty of time. Yes, he was league average last year, slightly below it. But with this batting profile, I wouldn't expect that to continue. He is only just turned 23. Obviously, Daniel Susak's got to come in. Schofield Sam has got to play. He was great last year. And that leaves right field and centre field. So right field, we got Brenton Doyle, who was above league average last year with the 104 OPS plus, and Matt Gorski, who was below league average. Very disappointing last year, actually. Yes, that can be improved upon for sure. Brenton Doyle is very passable for sure, but it can be improved upon. Centre field as well. Esteury Ruiz, after having two great seasons, he was awful last year. Are we looking to give him another shot this year? He's still only 26. It could have just been an off-season. He might just return to how he was before. Obviously, we ended up starting Bellinger over him. But I'm willing to give him a shot again, playing him in centre field. However, Brenton Doyle, yes, by all means can start the season at right field. But the reason I'm not looking to bring a major piece in the outfield is because Lorenzo Carrier. We'll try him out in spring training. But if he continues how he's been hitting here, I'd expect him to be one of the biggest pieces in our organisation going forward. And, moving forward, he could be the best bat that we have. The way he's been performing, at least. And the potential's there. But that potential, if he performs in spring training, he performs in the majors, this batting profile will rocket up again. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. So, Lorenzo Carrier is definitely one to watch out for. Paulino as well is still the number 12 prospect in baseball. Yes, he hasn't developed last year. He is 24 years of age. But at some point, all these scouts that's another scout. Obviously, now we change scouts, and he still believes in him here. OSA believes in him here. He's going to have to turn it around at some point, and he's going to have to develop. And I do think he will. So realistically for next year, if I'm honest, we do have 70 million to spend. However, we got the lowest player payroll, even though we got the 24th budget. I just don't see much point bringing in a big star free agent like Jimenez, Tucker, when we've got better players coming through organisation as it is, that we won't have to pay the money for a long time. And we'll have them under plenty of team control. Say Jimenez is 29 now. Yes, he'll hit for a lot of power, but he wasn't great last year. I do think we have better options, so that's not something I'm looking to do. However, a backup catcher is something I would definitely be looking for. And even Austin Hedges, I wouldn't mind bringing in. He's a Gold Glove catcher last year and the year before. Yes, he won't hit at all. However, he will only be backing up Susak when he's tired. And he is a captain too. Because that is something, obviously, someone did say, when I was looking for reasons why we did fall off last year, someone in the comments did let me know down below. They do think it might well have been to do, we didn't have a captain. We didn't have much leadership. So in terms of once it started to take a downturn, we just couldn't really recover for the rest of that month. And it was horrendous. So maybe having another captain in there, bringing a captain in, will help improve things. So bringing in Hedges is definitely something I'll be willing to make. I'm going to offer him a 4 million contract for the year. And then as well as that, obviously Morejon is gone. If there's a contract for a pitcher, a reliever that looks relatively friendly, I wouldn't mind bringing one in. However, I'm not willing to pay mega money for one. So Clay Holmes is a very good pitcher, but he wasn't great last year. Hasn't been great throughout the save actually. I say that he has been above league average FIP every year, but never really got the playing time. There was the Cuban pitcher who came in. OSA is a little bit lower on him than our scouters. Devin Williams is available, and so is Edwin Diaz. But I don't think that's necessary. Sir Anthony Dominguez as well, who only wants 6.5 million. If we could bring him in a short-term contract, see 6.5 million a year for 5 years isn't something I'd be willing to do. If we can bring him in for, say, 3 years, at 5 million a year, that's something I'd definitely be willing to do. But other than that, I do think there's not much for us to do in terms of free agency. You know, going into next season, we have a very, very good lineup. Obviously, as well, Lorenzo Carrier coming up. I don't see what we can really do. And also, I will mention as well now, so as Isaac Pacheco, who wasn't the captain last year, has actually seemed to have boosted up to a captain somehow. I was sure he wasn't a captain last year. He's now a captain with high leader loyalty, low greed. I think that's what he had before. But he certainly wasn't status as a captain. So let me know if that's something is maybe they have to get, you know, they don't just automatically become a captain once they come up from the minors. Maybe they have to get a fair bit of time or perform in the majors at least. Rather than, you know, I don't imagine a rookie could be a captain. We got a leader in Schofield Sam and also Max Muncy as well, which is nice to see. Max Muncy's, his batting profile looks fantastic, but he just hasn't really. I mean, he's fantastic in minors, yes, but he came up this space. He only played 20 games and he was around league average, so we'll perhaps give him another chance. But obviously, bringing in our prospect we did trade for, as well, which was Junior Tillen. We'll have to see if he gets an opportunity. So in regards to that, I will probably skip back to you either at the Rule 5 draft or if any of those players have got back to us and accepted their contracts. Okay, so I haven't actually moved on. I've been looking around some of the trades available, and well, first and foremost, I was looking through the team. We have a very, very good minor league system. I say it's down to 10th now, but we've had a very good minor league system. A lot of those players have came up now. And I was looking at our top prospect, one of our top prospects, João Paulino. He's 24 years old now. Yes. If and realistically when he does develop, he'll be a very, very good hitter. Very, very good hitter. But he is 24 years of age. And realistically, the only position he's going to be able to play is first base. He cannot play the outfield. And he's not, his infield range is only 35. He will be our DH. And he's the 12th ranked prospect in MLB. So there's plenty of trade value. It's not just us who values him very, very highly. OSA value him very, very highly. So does most of the other teams in the league. OSA thinks his eye is a bit better and his power as well. However, if he does come up, even if he develops in spring training and he comes up to where we think he is, if he comes up, he won't play ahead of Jack Moss, who's currently starting at first base, and DH, because we've got Pacheco at first base here at the moment. He can move to right field though, so it's not that big of a deal. But I just don't think the value we'll get for him is worth it. So therefore, I have dipped into the trade market here to see what we can get for him. Obviously, his value is very, very high. And we have Tristan Casas here, who put up 3.5 WAR, 4.3 WAR, 3.7 WAR. Fantastic player, but that contract is outrageous. We do not want to be playing him sit at 36.5 million a year. So I scrolled down. Jet Williams here, number 60 prospect, but there's no point trading a prospect for another prospect, as much as he is only a DH. But I went down to the Phillies here. And they have a few players I do like. I mean, Nick Bitsko here, who literally came in, played rookie ball in 2024, and then they just pushed him into the minors the year after, which is a bit of a strange one, I do think. OSA is a little bit lower on him. However, the main player sticking out to me was Andrew Painter here. Yes, he won't have as much team control. He came up in 2023, so he's played 3 years in the majors, but every year he's had an above league average FIP, great pitching years. I think he's a very, very good pitcher. And this year he's only being paid $800,000 going into his first year of arbitration next year. And for us giving up Paulino, who I don't think offers us much, I think trading up Paulino for even more, even Paul Podesta, does think we'll regret it if we didn't make this deal. So yes, I may very much come to regret this one with Paulino if he really does turn out. However, there just isn't the room for him in our roster, and to bring in someone of Andrew Painter's caliber, I think this massively improves our team. for next year. Our starting rotation may be the best, if not one of the best in the league. Bringing him in as a fourth, fifth, to take up the place of JP Sears or realistically Grant Holman. JP Sears will be our fifth starter. And I think that's too good an opportunity to pass up on. And I'm going to trade for an all-star. Bring him in. And let's put him straight over here. So if we jump to, and we let Danny Ayres sort for staff. They want Andrew Painter starting second. In our rotation, we've got Isaiah Lowe, Andrew Painter, Huelvis Del Rosario, Carson Montgomery, and JP Sears. And then in the bullpen, we've got Salinas, Gardea, Younger, Zach Jackson, Jaman, Waldichuk's still there, Mejia, Schreiber, Adam Lucas, who was putting up great seasons in long relief there, Nabil Krismat, Grant Holman. Grant Schreiber, John Schreiber, Grant Schreiber. John had a great season last year, putting up 1.1 WAR. I think our pitching is fantastic. And I think in terms of improving our offense, our lineup, I don't think we need to. We've got Lorenzo Carrier, who's on his way up. We give him a chance in spring training, but I'm happy with Brenton Doyle for the time being, or even Pacheco can come in and start right field, because we did also trade and bring in, if we go to our bats, Damien Palmagiani, who put up a 135 OPS plus last year, who can always come in and start first base, and we can have Brenton Doyle hit the bench. And as well as that, we can have Moss start first base and Pacheco start right field. So what I will do now is I will jump through to this Rule 5 draft, and then we'll get through that. So we're at the Rule 5 draft here, and going through players that I would like to protect. So further down in minor leagues, obviously, you would hope none of these players would be selected anyway. They're a lot further down. They need a lot more time to develop. Obviously, Pineda here, I will get a scout report on him because it is only average. And then Jose Melendez, the same, I'll get a scout report. I really hope he doesn't get selected. OSA is actually higher on him as well, actually. He wasn't great in high A last year, so I can't see him being selected as much as he does have good potential. Eduardo Rivera as well. I'm not going to pop him on. Yes, he's a very good pitcher and could be a good starter in the long run, but he wasn't great in Double A last year. Limited time. When I say that, he had 28 games started. Sorry. And then going into here, the only player I would probably protect here. No point. I don't think there's any need to protect JT again, as much as he was great. Is Junior Tillon. It'd be a shame if we trade, 135 OPS plus and 4.9 WAR last year in AAA. So I'll move him up into the 40-man roster. If there's anyone we could take off, maybe Connor Capel, who hasn't been good of late. We still got Luca. So we still got some of these players here. Luca Tresh could come in and start as our backup catcher actually next year. I did forget about that. So he might well actually come up and be a backup catcher if we do not get Hedges. But I would imagine with a $4 million contract offer we will. So if we have a look at the draft pool actually for a second. So in terms of overall, have we got any of our players here? Not that I can see. So very happy with that. Let's start the draft. And he looks like a very good pitcher. Starling Castillo. Eric Bello. Wow. Okay. Very, very good reliever. Some of these relievers you see available in here. Frias, he's not rookie. Nakano, the catcher, obviously we saw in free agency. He would be a very, very good backup catcher by all means, but he does have a bit of development to go. So Rivera's there. Hopefully he doesn't get selected. Let's have a little look at the draft log. Only Aaron Bracho was selected, who, yes, granted, does look very, very good. Had a great year in AAA last year. But there isn't a lot of players. There isn't an awful lot of talent available, if I'm honest. And we don't have any space on our 40-man. As much as some of these guys do look good, I think the quality of our roster now, Eric Bello would be nice, if I'm honest. Eric Bello would be great. But he's only played A-ball. To then jump him straight up from rookie ball to A-ball. He played rookie ball 2 years in the trot to A-ball. He's fantastic every year. I have no idea why he's been kept down there by the Mariners. Looks like he's been involved in a couple of trades, actually. He was at the White Sox and then traded at the start of this year, sorry. So what I will do actually is I will continue draft, and I will... Does the scout actually recommend anyone? No. So let's skip this pick. So draft log. Minnesota Twins also took Eli Wilson here, catcher. But no one was selected by us. So we will jump through to probably the International Free Agent Showcase and see what happens there. Right, so we're at the International Free Agent signing now. And first of all, I would like to say we have got Sir Anthony Dominguez signed. He's came over. He's a new part of the bullpen now. As well as Austin Hedges did sign. He'll be our defensive catcher, our backup catcher, which is great to see. Captain as well. So brought obviously both of them in. Obviously we brought Andrew Painter in. Obviously made that trade. Still only 22 years of age as well. I'm very, very happy with how this team's looking for next year. Obviously the infield, fantastic. Outfield as well. At left field, we've got Junior DeLuca and Schofield Sam again, who had a great year last year. Well, I say that he did fall off a little bit towards the end by the looks of it. Johnny DeLuca as well is also an option. Great good defender. Never really put it all together, if I'm honest, though, in the majors. But AAA, he absolutely raked, and he does have the ratings to do so. So hopefully that he does turn that around. Brenton Doyle as our option at right field as well is great. But hopefully Carrier will take his place and he will be our starting right fielder. Although, once again, I might do a similar thing with him as to what I did with the other guys in terms of Jack Moss, Pacheco and everything, is I might leave him just for his usage, basically. Where can I go through to that? Yeah, I might leave him basically for his Major League service time, just so it's not manipulate that, so we can get as much use out of him as possible, because he is looking like a top player for us. He is now our top prospect. Really, really good to see that. But we're obviously at the international amateurs now. So in terms of, I've gone out and laid out a few of my top players that we'll be going for. Eloy Sabates here is the number one player I'm going for in this. I will pay all of my money to make sure we can get him. He's a must-have. Also as well, David Castro as well. Very, very good option. Good outfield range. Play well in the outfield. Defensively, great batting profile. Obviously, whether that even comes in, we are yet to see. This guy here as well, Dutch. Not even going to try to attempt to pronounce that name, if I'm honest. So already the power is developing. Actually, he looks very, very good. OSA disagrees though on that in terms of the power development already. And then our last guy, the fourth guy I've got on here, is David Mercado. He can play decent in the corner outfielders. Great on the base paths, good defender. great hitting potential. So those are my options. However, I'm going to go straight in and offer a contract for Sabates for what he wants, 3.4 million. I'm also going to go in and offer a contract for David Castro here, and hopefully those both come off. So I will probably try and play this out, and I'll jump back to you when I've got everyone signed up. But I'm hoping it will be Sabates, David Castro, and then if we manage to get them both for cheap, there might be a potential we can bring in our Dutch right fielder here. So that is the plan. So we're back, and it's pre-season already now. So we're at January 28th. We're probably just going to play up till now or up till February 1st, realistically. Because next episode we will be jumping in and we will be playing as the Las Vegas Athletics from then on out. I'm very excited for that, see what changes that will make to the structure of our team and sort of how we have to sort of develop our lineup. Obviously, in terms of at the moment, if we can go for it, realistically, it's not a home run friendly park. It's not even a hitters friendly park, but you do hit a lot, a fair amount more doubles and triples here. But I'm excited to see what differences that makes, moving out of the Coliseum. So, but there's good news and bad news, is how I will start with things. The bad news is we're now ranked 18th with our minor league system. We were ranked first. So what I will say about that is I think, we upped things. We brought in a fair amount of good prospects. All those players have developed into the Major League roster now. And that's why our roster outlook is so much better than it once was. I do think that is the reason why I'm going to say, our development has been massive. So, and those players have made it to the majors now, leaving not a lot left. And as well as that, our new scouts came in, and he's not as high on some of these guys as our previous scout was. Adkins' potential has dropped. Papanos, Marauders is still there and thereabouts, but he just hasn't quite developed enough. Unfortunately, he was great with the bat last year though, so potentially he might well be able to start off the year in A-ball this season. As well as that, Husman's potential has dropped. His batting rates are still there, not quite where they once were. Cisneros is still there. Yasser Mercedes will probably start the year off in A-ball. He has really started to develop now. Cambrellin as well is there. We got Mullinax as well, looking good. Didn't play well last year. Henry Bolt played phenomenally in A-ball though last year. He'll start the year off in high or double A realistically. Obviously as well, a lot more players did get let go last year. We don't have a lot of players in their 30s. Caprillian's still here, but we don't have a lot of players in their 30s now stuck in the minors. We have a younger system now, obviously after letting a fair few players go. So I'll go through and obviously develop all the minors and stuff and sort of chop and change that about to where players should be for the start of the new season. But the good news is, so obviously, bad news obviously all of that, but the good news is if we head to the international complex, we did get the number one player we were after did get signed, Eloy Sabates. If this develops, he'll be better than any pitcher we have on our roster currently. He, 5 pitches, slider, curveball, changeup, sinker, splitter, with massive, stuff, movement and control rating potential. He looks really, really, really good here. So we'll see how he develops, over the long run, but he's a very, very good pitcher. He's only 16 years of age though, so anything could happen with him. Realistically, he will turn out to be nothing, but he is durable. And if he does follow that potential, he will be a player to look out for in the long run. But yes, heading into next season, very excited to see where things can go. I'm very happy with our team and the construction of our roster. Obviously, we've got Lowe, Painter, El Rosario, Montgomery, JP Sears. That starting rotation is outrageous now. And the same with the bullpen. Hayden Younger, we brought him, he had a 2.7 WAR season in the bullpen. Had another great season last year. Roy Basalanas as well. Dario Gardea hasn't been great for us, but he's great in AAA, and he certainly has the potential to be fantastic at the bullpen for us. We've still got Zach Jackson, who obviously a former Reliever of the Year award winner the year before last. Herman Mejia, we brought in Sarantari Dominguez. It's just so many pitching options, and obviously with our lineup as well, Parmigiani's came in, Austin Hedges is a captain and a backup defensive catcher. But potentially as well, obviously Carroll will be coming up for spring training. Hopefully he can make the roster. There's a fair few other players here that's around. Junior Tillen, Luca Tresh is still knocking about. You know what he can do. But obviously with Susak signing a long-term contract, the catcher position has realistically been locked up for the foreseeable future. And it's a very, very team-friendly deal. Very happy to get that done. So, let me know in the comments if you're happy with this contract. I may be looking at this all wrong, and you may be thinking, this has a massive chance of, busting. But I do think if his ratings do come up, it could be a fantastic contract. And will really, will work out for us in the long run. Especially with us moving to Las Vegas, maybe this budget will jump up. So we'll see what it does with that. Anyway, but I'll see you in the next one anyway. I hope you enjoyed the off-season episode. Please do leave a like below, and subscribe if you haven't already. But obviously do drop a comment below. Let me know what you think I should be doing. If I made a mistake, I should have gone in for Tucker. I should have gone in for Pete Alonso. Some of these guys I should have let go, or should I have traded away Morahan, any of that sort of thing. Also, we did have plenty of money. We could have realistically kept him in the team. We had the money to do so. So, was I just letting him go for no real reason there? And should I be excited about Carrier? Should I be looking to bring him up, do you think? Obviously, I said I'm looking to bring him up a minute plate service time. Should that be something I still should do, or should I just bring him straight up for the start of the season? See how he gets on. But obviously, do let me know all of that down below in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one for the first episode with the Las Vegas A's.